Every day, Iowans wake up to go to work. They take care of their families and they play by the rules. But lately, it feels like the rules of our state were written by a corporate lawyer who had a very bad day and decided, I'm going to take it out on the entire Midwest. From our cornfields to our classrooms, from healthcare clinics to local town halls, our systems are cracking under the weight of bad policy. They're cracking under the weight of corporate greed and, honestly, a profound lack of accountability. We don't have just a minor plumbing leak in Des Moines. It's a flood that's shifted the whole foundation. Today, I want to address the top 5 issues facing our state, and I want to lay out a common sense blueprint to return this government to the people. And look, we don't have to reinvent the wheel here. We just need to copy the homework of states that have actually gotten it right and bring those working solutions home. First, property tax reform. Predictability and fairness, right? Let's start with property taxes. The current system is unpredictable, it's volatile, and it's quite frankly punitive. Under the different rules, if you work hard, you save your money, and you build a nice new deck on your house, the state treats you like you committed a crime and slaps you with a higher tax bill. Our current property tax system is essentially a penalty for giving a damn about how your neighborhood looks. We need to completely overhaul how we fund our local communities. We should really look at the 1% rule. Property taxes should be locked in at exactly that 1% of the sales price or assessed price of the house at the time that you bought it. And it stays there for as long as you own that property, period. This gives families, especially seniors on a fixed income, and even first-time homebuyers, the one thing they desperately need: predictability. You can actually plan your future when your tax bill isn't fluctuating wilder than the Iowa weather in October. Now, this isn't some hypothetical. This is proven. We know this works because in the 70s, California passed Proposition 13, and it establishes exact baseline, capping general property tax rates at 1% of the purchase value, and it halted the skyrocketing tax hikes. These tax hikes force seniors right out of their homes, and we need to stop that. Now, to ensure our cities and counties aren't left stranded, we must shift the burden away from property taxes entirely. Local governments should be funded through a local flat sales tax, not arbitrary property assessments. I mean, look at Alaska. They rely heavily on localized sales taxes and municipal exemptions rather than crushing homeowners. Let's fund our local services through consumption. If you buy a yacht, you pay the tax. If you just want to paint your front porch, the government should mind its own damn business. Secondly, we have public education. We need to level the field here, and we have to protect our classrooms. So this is the soul of our state, right? Public education. I have spent the last 20 years on the front lines of this issue as a 4th grade teacher, most recently. And a lot of that time is spent right here in Iowa. I love our kids. I love our schools. And it breaks my heart to watch public education be treated like an unpopular stepchild. Systematically starved, well, public tax dollars are funneled into private school vouchers with zero equivalent accountability. Right now, private schools are getting a free ride on our dime. It's like inviting someone to a potluck, watching them eat all the best food, and then letting them leave without helping wash a single dish. If we spread the public money out, we should also spread the issues that come with it. By handing out vouchers with no strings attached, we are creating a dangerous 2-tiered system. Private academies get to use public funds to subsidize wealthy families, while systematically weeding out anyone they deem too difficult or expensive to teach. As an educator, I'm telling you, we cannot allow our public schools to become economically segregated, and that's what will happen. Nor can we allow them to become a subsidized dumping ground for troubled students with severe behavior issues that private academies simply refuse to deal with. If a private school wants a single dollar of public voucher money, they must face the exact same legal requirements as our public schools. They must accept all students who wish to attend. No cherry picking the easiest kids to pad your stats and sending the rest back to the district. They must also provide all levels of special education and behavioral services on their own campus. No subsidized functionalism. They must do all of this on their own dime. We must stop allowing public school infrastructure, public school staff, and specialists to bail out and subsidize private school operations. States like Ohio and Wisconsin have historically implemented specific rules for voucher-certified schools, mandating baseline testing and structural oversight. If you take public money, you accept public accountability. Our public schools must be fully funded, protected from becoming socioeconomic islands, and given the flexibility to actually teach. Third, healthcare. We need to fire the MCOs, and we need to rebuild mental health. Iowa's healthcare system is broken, plain and simple. Prices are skyrocketing, rural delivery wards are just vanishing, and mental health is treated like a myth. The root of this rot is the privatized managed care organizations, or the MCOs, and their approach to Medicaid. Every single year, Iowa exports roughly $1.7 billion to out-of-state for-profit insurance corporations. Giving public healthcare dollars to out-of-state MCOs is like hiring a bodyguard who charges you by the hour, but locks the door and hides in the closet the second a fight breaks out. Their entire business model relies on denying and delaying care to protect their corporate profit margins. This isn't an abstract policy. It's a lived reality. As an adoptive father navigating the complex landscape of specialized care, including fetal alcohol spectrum disorders, I know firsthand what it feels like to confront a system that offers a bureaucratic roadblock instead of a lifeline. Families who step up to provide a home for children with trauma-induced conditions shouldn't have to fight a corporate out-of-state entity just to get basic specialized therapeutic and mental health support. So fire the MCOs. We need to eliminate the MCO approach entirely, bring that money back home. Now, sorry, my dog Zeus is getting a drink of water if you can hear that, and he drinks a lot. But look at Connecticut. In 2012, Connecticut fired its private Medicaid MCOs and pulled the program back under state management. They saved hundreds of millions of dollars in administrative waste. They reinvested those dollars directly into actual patient care, and they saw better health outcomes across the board. We need to reestablish state-funded mental health services directly across our regional districts, working hand in hand with private providers to ensure that every Iowan has immediate access to care. Right now, they fall through the cracks because there is no public safety net. We also need accountability with teeth. We must regulate and provide oversight with actual legal teeth for private providers who engage in illegal, deceptive, or immoral business practices, because healthcare is a necessity, not a corporate playground. Next area, number 4, government transparency. We need to tear down the Freedom of Information Act wall. A government that hides from its citizens is a government that cannot be trusted. Right now, our open records process, Chapter 22, is being actively weaponized. State agencies use exorbitant thousands of dollars search fees as a deliberate barrier to keep the public in the dark. I have sat at my desk, this very desk, and personally filed public record requests with state agencies, trying to get basic clarity on public interest disclosures. I've gone rounds with officials over fee waivers, email search parameters, and deliberate delays. I can tell you from personal experience, the system is designed to wear you down until you just give up. Charging citizens thousands of dollars to look at public records is like a restaurant charging you a $500 menu viewing fee before you can even order a sandwich. You already paid for this data with your tax dollars. They're earning a salary. We need free, open record requests. You shouldn't have to buy back that information that is already yours. Look at California again. And I'm not one to say to look at California that often, but hey. The state's Public Records Act explicitly mandates that agencies can only charge the direct cost of duplication, the physical cost of a thumb drive or printing paper, but they are strictly barred from charging citizens for the staff hours spent searching, editing, or redacting files. We have to modernize this process and its delivery. We must mandate technological updates across the agencies to ensure automated, timely tracking and delivery of records. Transparency isn't this favor that government's doing for us, right? It's the law. Fifth, eminent domain. We need an absolute ban on government seizure, right? We have to talk about property rights. There's an ongoing battle over corporate carbon pipelines, and it's exposed how this terrifying truth about how fragile our rights have become. This issue goes deeper than that, though. It goes deeper than just stopping a private corporation from seizing family farmland. That's important enough. But we need an absolute line in the sand. Eminent domain should be banned completely for both private and public projects. Following the disastrous Supreme Court Kelo decision, which allowed governments to seize private homes for corporate development, states rushed to protect their citizens. States like Florida and Virginia passed sweeping constitutional amendments severely restricting or banning outright the transfer of seized land to private entities for economic development. But Iowa needs to take the final step. Whether it's a multi-billion-dollar energy conglomerate trying to lay pipeline for corporate profit, or a government agency claiming they need to build a new administrative parking lot. The fundamental truth remains the same. Private property is private property, period. End of story. The government has no moral or legal right to force an Iowan off their land. They have no moral or legal right to confiscate what that person has built or to compromise generational farms under the guise of progress. If the state or a company needs land, they can negotiate on the open market and they can pay a fair price, just like everyone else. Forced seizure has no place in a free Iowa. An open, transparent government. Absolute protection for private property, fully funded, accountable public schools that protect classroom environments, a healthcare system built for patients, not for profits, and a tax structure that rewards improvement and offers absolute predictability. This isn't radical thinking. It is a common sense governance backed by real world examples that prove it can work. It's time to tear down the bureaucratic fortress in Des Moines and rebuild a state that actually belongs to us